Well, thank you for having me on, BL.
Thank you for having me on the show, BL.
Thanks for having me on, BL.
Hi, Beelzebub.
Hey, BL.
Thanks for having me, BL.
Subworld News. Hey, BL.
Beelzebub.
It's BL C-Bub.
Thanks for having me, BL.
And you are watching Subworld News.
Good evening, and welcome to Subworld News. Tonight, we have two tiny titans in the independent films industry. Known for his films The Theta Girl and 2021's Bad Girls, as well as other shorts, we have Christopher Bickel. Up after that, we have writer-director Todd Wolfson, and we will be asking him stupid questions, as well as discussing his upcoming film, Batshit. So, on with the jib-jab. Mr. Bickel, thank you for being with us today.
Thanks for having me on the show, BL.
So, this new flick, Bad Girls. It seems to paint this picture that most, or at least half of guys, are sleazy shitfucks. Tell me, are you a man whore? I mean, do you have sex?
No, never on the first date.
Hard to get. Okay. You know what's not hard to get? Disease. I mean, can't you humans keep anything to yourselves? How did the pandemic affect shooting Bad Girls?
The pandemic did not affect shooting at all. We luckily finished shooting 2 weeks before the lockdown, and then during lockdown I was holed up doing the editing. And I actually did eventually get COVID in December, and it was a mild case, and I recovered, and now the movie is out.
Well, you didn't die, so there's that. And Bad Girls is out, so that's two things. Life and Bad Girls. But why? What was the idea for Bad Girls? Where did it come from?
The idea for my film Bad Girls came from when I was much younger. I was a very famous rock star, and I was abducted by 3 girls and drugged and taken on a cross-country crime spree, and lived to tell about it. So basically, Bad Girls is a true story. It's my story.
You expect my viewers to believe that load of shit, Chris?
No.
You know what, Chris? Bad Girls stinks. It stinks like cocaine and boobies and topless muscle cars at drive-ins.
Well, you know what they say, BL, the summer is magic, but that smell can be hard to get out sometimes.
I had a car like that once. A 58 Plymouth Fury.
Ah, yes.
Do you have any advice for film doer-maker people?
Yeah, I think you should always work below your budget but above your experience level.
I'm a power top myself, but it's good to know that you're versatile. So, Mr. Never on the First Date, what about next time? Can you stick around for some special features?
Yes.
Great. Thanks again for being here today, Mr. Bickel.
Well, thanks again, BL, for having me on the show. This has really been one of the highlights of my entire life. Thank you.
Next up, we have Todd Wolfson. Thanks for taking time to be here with us today, Mr. Wolfson.
Hey, BL. Thanks for having me on your show.
I understand you have a strict diet, Todd. Tell us, do you eat only people?
Yes.
And you attest that Leprechaun in the Hood is the greatest film of all time.
Duh, BL. Of course Leprechaun in the Hood is the greatest film of all time. I mean, who doesn't think that? I mean, they'd have to be crazy.
Yeah, the world is full of crazy people. Speaking of, what is the deal with your film Batshit?
So, a lot of films and different artists inspired me to make my first feature film, Batshit. Some of them include The Evil Dead, Nightmare on Elm Street, Tim Burton films, as well as David Lynch films. And there's just a long laundry list of films and artists that I've been inspired to make this film. And I'd say Evil Dead is probably at the top of that list.
I love Evil Dead. So do you have a raping tree in Batshit?
No.
Okay, so what's so cool about it then?
Batshit is one of the most original films that you'll see out there. It has one of the craziest concepts that I could come up with in my zany head, where the main character, the protagonist, his name is Felix, played by Jerry Pachala, is inside of this nightmare world where he has to face off against all of his inner demons. And it could be anything from a killer talking cherry pie to singing zombies. And we have claymation characters like a claymation bat that is his alter ego. There's so much going on in this film. It's one of the most original films you'll see out there, with a lot of, like I said, a lot of different art as far as claymation, animation, and we have all kind of crazy stuff going on. I mean, the movie's called Batshit, and I'm going to show you guys right now the poster art right here. This is actually a variant poster art from Nicholas Caesar. I hope I'm holding it up enough so everyone can see it. I'll kind of do one of these things going down, and then I'll go up, show everybody this. And like you can see on the poster, there's a lot of crazy stuff going on in this movie. And it's, like I said, this is definitely one of the craziest ideas I've come up with. And I think anyone who loves dark comedies and the horror film genre and just batshit crazy stuff in general will absolutely love this movie. And that's what I say.
Of course. I mean, not me personally, but thanks again, Todd.
Thanks for having me on your show, BL. Stay cool, Ghoul. Stay